Why Filipinos laugh during problems. The first time I realized Filipinos laugh during problems, I thought something was wrong with me. I was sitting on a plastic chair outside a small sari-sari store in a provincial town I want to name because every town will claim it, says anyway. It was hot. Like, why is the sun personally attacking me hot? My blonde hair was already in surrender mode. Tied up with a hair tie I bought for 10 pesos that snapped 5 minutes later. Across the street, a tricycle had broken down in the middle of the road. Smoke puffed out dramatically, like it wanted attention. The driver jumped off, scratching his head. Cars stopped. A jeepney honked. Another tricycle joined the traffic jam. Within minutes, the road was completely blocked. In America, this would be the start of yelling. Someone would call roadside assistance. Someone else would call the city. Someone would record a video and complain online. Stress would be served hot and loud. Here, the tricycle driver laughed. Not a nervous chuckle, not a polite smile, a real laugh. Then the jeepney driver laughed. Then the guy selling bananas laughed. Someone shouted a joke I didn't understand, and suddenly half the street was smiling like this was a free comedy show. I sat there thinking, did I miss the part where this is funny? A local woman beside me noticed my face and said, "Problem, Lang Yan." Then she smiled. Okay, Lang. That sentence, "Problem, Lang Yan," would quietly change the way I understood life. At first, I thought Filipinos laughed because they didn't take things seriously. That was my American brain trying to simplify something it didn't understand. I was raised to believe that problems are enemies. You confront them, you fight them, you stress about them, you solve them as fast as possible. Smiling during a problem feels irresponsible. Laughing feels disrespectful. But living here taught me something else. Filipinos don't want to laugh because they don't care. They laugh because they care too much to let problems destroy their spirit. A few weeks later, I experienced my first real Filipino-style problem. I had planned a simple trip. Just 1 hour away, easy. I woke up early, packed snacks like a responsible adult, and confidently told myself I was becoming local. The bus didn't arrive. 10 minutes passed, then 30, then an hour. Back home, this would trigger customer service calls, refund requests, and angry tweets. Here, people just waited. Some sat on the curb. Some shared snacks. Someone turned on music from their phone. The kids started dancing. I asked a man beside me, "Is the bus coming?" He laughed. Maybe. That was the entire answer. I must have looked distressed because he added, "If not today, tomorrow." Tomorrow? My schedule-loving American soul felt personally attacked. Then it started raining. Of course it did. The rain came down hard, soaking everyone instantly. I panicked, scrambling for cover like a confused cat. The locals laughing again. Someone joked that at least the rain was free. Another said it saved them from showering. That's when I noticed something important. The laughter wasn't denying the problem. The bus was still late. The rain was still heavy. Nothing magically improved. But the mood changed. The stress dissolved. The waiting felt lighter. Eventually, the bus arrived. 3 hours late. Nobody complained. People boarded like this was completely normal. I sat there, soaked, tired, and weirdly calm. That was my first lesson. Filipinos laugh not to escape problems, but to survive them. As I stayed longer, I noticed this pattern everywhere. Power outage? Laugh. Flooded street? Laugh. Lost wallet? Laugh first, panic later. Missed deadline? Laugh, then adjust. I once asked a Filipino friend why they always laughed when things went wrong. He thought about it for a moment and said, "If you don't laugh, you cry." That hit harder than he probably intended. In many parts of the Philippines, life is unpredictable. Weather changes fast. Systems fail. Money is tight. Plans rarely go exactly as expected. If you let every problem sink into your chest, you drown in stress. So instead, people float. They joke, they smile, they tease. Not because the problem isn't real, but because they are. One day, I got invited to a birthday party. I showed up with a gift, excited to finally attend a real Filipino celebration. 5 minutes in, the electricity went out. Complete blackout. No lights, no fan, no music. Just darkness and heat. I braced myself. In my head, the party was over. Instead, someone yelled, "Brownout." Like it was an announcement of a surprise guest. People laughed. Phones came out as flashlights. Someone started singing a cappella karaoke. Kids ran around like this was the best thing ever. The birthday girl laughed so hard she almost cried. The power came back after an hour. By then, nobody cared. The best part of the party had already happened. That night, I realized something uncomfortable. My idea of ruined was very different from theirs. For Filipinos, joy is not something you protect until conditions are perfect. Joy is something you create even when conditions are terrible. That doesn't mean Filipinos don't feel pain. They do, deeply. I've seen Filipinos face problems that would completely break people back home. Financial struggles, family responsibilities, natural disasters, long work hours, uncertain futures, and still somehow they joke. I once spoke to a woman who lost her house to a typhoon. She laughed while telling the story, joking about how her roof decided to fly first class. I felt uncomfortable laughing with her, but she insisted. "This is life," she said. "We rebuild." That laughter wasn't ignorance. It was resilience. Psychologically, humor is a coping mechanism. It helps the brain release tension. It creates emotional distance from pain. In many cultures, humor is used privately. In the Philippines, it's shared publicly. Problems become communal. Laughter spreads. Burdens feel lighter when carried together. I noticed that Filipinos rarely face problems alone. Someone always shows up with advice, food, jokes, or all three. When I had my first real breakdown here, it wasn't dramatic. It was quiet. I was tired of adjusting, tired of being confused, tired of missing home. I sat in my room, staring at the wall, feeling stupid for thinking I could figure out another culture easily. My neighbor knocked. She noticed I hadn't come out all day. She didn't ask deep questions. She didn't give motivational speeches. She handed me food and said, "Eat, Mina." Then she joked about how foreigners always forget to eat when they're sad. I laughed, and somehow that laugh pulled me back. Food, laughter, and human connection Filipino therapy, no appointment needed. There's also something important about Filipino humor. It's often self-deprecating. People joke about their own struggles, their own mistakes, their own situations. This takes power away from the problem. If you can laugh at something, it doesn't own you anymore. I once heard a man joke about being stuck in traffic for 3 hours. He said he aged 10 years and now qualified for senior discounts. Everyone laughed. Traffic didn't improve, but the mood did. In contrast, many cultures treat problems like personal failures. You're late because you messed up. You're struggling because you didn't plan enough. You're stressed because you're weak. In the Philippines, problems are often treated as part of life's chaos, not proof of your inadequacy. That difference matters. It creates compassion instead of judgment. I've also noticed that laughter helps Filipinos maintain dignity. When you can joke during hardship, you show strength without needing to explain it. There's a phrase I heard often, "Bahala na." At first, I misunderstood it as carelessness, like giving up. But over time, I learned it's closer to acceptance mixed with courage. It means I've done what I can. I'll face what comes next. Laughter fits perfectly into that mindset. You laugh and you move forward. Not because you're naive, but because stopping would be worse. One afternoon, I slipped on a wet sidewalk and fell hard. People rushed over not to panic, but to help me up while joking that I had officially become Filipino now. I was embarrassed. My knee hurt, but I laughed with them. That moment mattered more than the bruise. It reminded me that being human is allowed here. Messy, loud, emotional, laughing through it all. The longer I stayed, the more I caught myself laughing during my own problems. Missed appointment? Laugh. Wrong bus? Laugh. Language mistake? Laugh hardest. It didn't make me careless. It made me flexible. I started sleeping better. Stress didn't sit as heavy on my chest. Problems didn't feel like emergencies, just puzzles. And the strangest part, things often worked out anyway. Not perfectly, not on schedule, but enough. I asked myself once, what would happen if Americans laughed more during problems? Maybe fewer heart attacks, maybe fewer fights over small things, maybe more patience. But I also understand why it's hard. When your systems usually work, failure feels shocking. When your life is tightly controlled, unpredictability feels threatening. In the Philippines, unpredictability is normal. So people adapt emotionally instead of constantly fighting reality. That doesn't mean Filipinos don't want improvement. They do. They complain. They protest. They push for better systems. But they don't let waiting destroy their humanity. That balance is powerful. One night, I was stuck in the rain again because, of course I was. A group of strangers stood under a small roof, completely packed together. Someone cracked a joke about free sauna access. Another shared bread. Someone else offered their umbrella. We laughed. Together, strangers bonded by inconvenience. I realized something important in that moment. Laughter creates community faster than anger ever could. And community is how Filipinos survive. So why do Filipinos laugh during problems? Because laughter is cheaper than therapy? Because stress doesn't fix anything? Because tomorrow is uncertain? Because joy is a choice? Because suffering shared becomes lighter? Because they've learned that if you wait for life to be easy before smiling, you might never smile at all. And maybe, just maybe because deep down, they understand something the rest of us forget. Life is hard, but it's also ridiculous. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is laugh anyway.